So welcome back to the champion Momota. The beaten finalist from 2017, Axelsen, he's already through to meet the defending champion Momota in tomorrow's quarterfinal. That should be a great match. And we are looking at the bottom half of that top half of the draw that we saw just a moment ago. Also in this half of the draw is the 2016 winner, Janne Jorgensen. But wonderful to see SHI Yu Qi back after ankle surgery. It's his second tournament back. I say second tournament, technically it's his third tournament, because he reached the final last week in Macau. That was his first real tournament. He did play in the first round of the Changzhou China Open and really wasn't fit to play. He really shouldn't have been on court at all. So, as we saw, this will be the second meeting between these two players. The only previous meeting was in the semi-final of the French 750 event last year, which SHI Yu Qi won in 2 straight games. Rasmus GEMKE is 22 years of age from Verbu J, which stands for Jutland. 26 on the world ranking at the moment, although he did spend 1 week at the beginning of November last year at 16 in the world, making his first appearance here in Fuzhou. And in the very first round, he beat HS Pranoy. Lovely to see Pranoy back after missing 4 consecutive tournaments with dengue fever. And it was a tough match, 53 minutes for those 2 games before GEMKE came through. That match was played on Tuesday. SHI Yu Qi, the former world number 2, went up 2 places from 6 after reaching the final in Macau last week. He was a semi-finalist last year when he lost out to Cho Tien Chen, the 23-year-old from Nantong in Jiangsu province. It's his 6th appearance here, so at this China Open. First round, he beat the former world number 1, Seong-Wan Ho of Korea, back after operation on his Achilles. He ruptured his Achilles earlier this year, so good to see Seong-Wan Ho back as well. So this will be a stern test, I think, for SHI Yu Qi, as our umpire, Susan Taylor, calls for the players to get ready. Service judge, Jiang Xiying from China. And the reason I say it's a stern test, because I don't know whether you got to see some of the Macau Open last week, Steen. You're nodding in that you did. And I thought SHI Yu Qi looked as if he was lacking stamina. I thought he was really struggling physically as matches progressed.
Yeah, it's difficult having undergone surgery, then you can't really do much physical training.
I suppose work on the bike or in the hydrotherapy pool, or it's about all you can cope with. So the respective coaching benches for the Danes, Jakob Hoy and Thomas Stoneball. And on the Chinese coaching bench, it was Chen Yu and I think Chen Shi Chu.
On my right, Rasmus GEMKE, Denmark. And on my left, SHI Yu Qi, China. Rasmus GEMKE to serve. Love all. Play.
Well, already, Gemke just turning and pointing to the back of the court, asking his coaches would that have gone along.
Service over. 1-all.
It's a player that's overshadowed by the other three Danes. I say three Danes, there's quite a few Danes, but specifically Antonsson and Victor Axelsson.
Yeah. He's also he's suffered some injuries, some setbacks, Gemke, because he's had to develop on the movement part of the game. You can see his legs, they're still reasonably skinny compared to SHI Yu Qi's posts and Chen Long's posts. Then Gemke's look a little bit more like Joachim Fischer, and that's not. You should return them and say, no, I asked for legs designed for badminton. But he's had to work really hard on that, and he has an offensive playing style and a really, really good smash, which has very little pre-swing on it, which makes it really hard to judge. A little bit like Anthony Ginting, and that makes it really hard for the more defensive-minded opponents if he got his game going.
Service over. 2-4.
Oh, goodness. I think we can safely say that SHI Yu Qi read that cross-court shot from Gemke.
Gemke looked at his racket.
This one.
Probably mistimed it. Nobody can tell whether that was a clear, a smash, or a drop shot.
I've mentioned two other Danes that were in the draw, Axelsson and Antonsson, but we had Vittinghus, who lost first round yesterday to Nishimoto, and Janor Jorgensen, former champion as well. 5 very good Danish men's singles players in world badminton at the moment. Oh, we can hear some of that, Steve.
Yeah, I had it turned down, but I just realized that there's a microphone close to the coach's chairs.
Oh, yes.
Experience. Gemke was pretty much in charge of the whole rally, but then the loose shot here.
So do you think it is Gemke's tactic to try and work physically his opponent, push him and keep the rallies long?
I don't know, but I was just thinking he's got to make up his mind as to what he wants to do here. Because we think from what we saw in Macau Open that that he could easily get a little bit tired, SHI Yu Qi. But on the other hand, so could GEMKE. And if the rallies go like, not this one, but the previous one, that he controls a lot of rallies, but SHI Yu Qi sort of just floats along and waits for that little inaccurate shot and wins it, then it could be a really, really dangerous game plan, in my opinion. So I think he should just more or less play his own game. Of course, he knows that he can be a little bit more patient because SHI Yu Qi is not his normal best. But like these last two rallies, that's what I like. He cannot play without attacking the way I see it.
All right. Oh, super angle. Oh, my goodness. Good rally. Oh, that's sensational. What a cross-court net shot from SHI Yu Qi.
5.
That's just gorgeous. Yeah, given what you just said, Steen, I often think if you see a player get injured in a match, you see the same dilemma from the opponent.
Yeah.
Do I now try and move them more because they're struggling because of they've picked up a little injury, or do I just stick to the game plan and what I've been doing so far? It is a dilemma. I understand completely what you were saying.
And also that shot there was great, but you know, being a little bit more deliberate, SHI Yu Qi being a little bit more deliberate in his shots and sort of knowing that he's got to play every shot as good as possible, because there will be situations like this where he's outplayed and he will take calculated risks, I think.
Yeah. Well, that was another magnificent cross-court from GEMKE. Oh, got the net cord. What's the short lift? Yeah.
I think the Danes should be aware, talking about the Danes, GEMKE and the coaches, they should be aware that SHI Yu Qi is going to try to neutralize a lot. So just make sure that he doesn't lose the match himself by playing stupid, taking everything, taking the pace out, playing into the court, going for the net when the chances are there, and so on. So very often it can be just as profitable to realize what the opponents are going to do than focusing on what you want to do yourself. Of course, you need to figure out what you want to do, but reading the opponent's choices is important. I think at the moment GEMKE needs to play some deceptions to the net when he's on the front court.
Yeah.
He was waiting for that one, SHI Yu Qi. He knew that there was a lot of lifts coming from the front court.
Yeah.
9-6.
No, I was wrong about the second Chinese coach. Many apologies for that.
That was Li Jifeng. Normally sits with Lin Dan when he's playing. I couldn't see it from here because he's not a tall guy, and he could actually look a little bit like Chen Qiqu here, but Chen Qiqu normally with the doubles team.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Service over, 7-9.
So I think if Gemke can play shots to the front court, preferably ahead of the service line, and then close the front court down after that, then he will have SHI Yu Qi working on a big court, and that should open some opportunities for Dane. But at the moment, SHI Yu Qi is playing perfect, taking the pace out of it and really executing when he has an opportunity.
That's well left. Oh, there's a challenge here.
SHI Yu Qi challenges called out.
Yeah, very strange challenge.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. Service over. 8-10. Play. Oh,
Wait,
Yeah.
there's a big gap in that forehand defense there. Was it the right foot that he injured? I guess it was.
I thought it was his left.
Was it? I'm trying to recall the pictures, but I really don't want to.
No, it was horrible.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I think he's hitting a lot more backhands
Yeah.
to try and protect that ankle, because in the
Around the head.
around the head position, you land on that left leg. Oh, that's clever. Oh, he guessed that. Instead, back level.
10-all.
Do you know, often when Gemke serves from this right-hand side of the court and serves a low serve, I often think he's about to fall over, lose his balance as he's finishing the serve. It's most peculiar.
Yeah, there he goes to the left.
He does it every time.
Yeah.
Well, it is the Dane, Rasmus GEMKE, who has the advantage at the mid-game interval on a run of 4 straight points from 7-10 down.
Hver gang du slår for hårdt, og den ikke ligger millimeter præcis ude på linjen, så ligger han bare og drejer dig og spiller helt kort til nettet, så vi er mega presset. Så hvis vi har det hårdt, så er det stadigvæk krop og ellers ned foran. Han er rimelig stiv ude i siderne, når den kommer ned foran ham.
Jeg kommer til at slå den på hans baghåndsside.
Ja.
Jeg slår på højre.
Ja.
Generelt ikke lige få den ned på kroppen lige nu 4.
Nej, det er fint nok.
Der er for tungt.
Men bare pas på med at slå for hårdt, hvis du ligger for langt tilbage. De gange du slår hårdt, der skal du være klar til at flyve fremad. Ellers så skal den ned foran dig. Hold igen. Ikke på regnen her. Det er godt.
Very quick. Time's up.
Well, Thomas Stangor giving the advice there. Steen, what was he saying?
Yeah, it was basically in the attacking situation when Gemke hits too hard, or he tries to hit too hard, and there's no accuracy in it, then he's in trouble because SHI Yu Qi plays it all short or moves him to the other side. So if he is using a hard smash, he needs to move forward immediately. But the suggestion is to hit it in front of him, steep smashes or accurate in the sides.
10.
And they've noticed that he's a little bit stiff. It looks a little bit stiff to both his backhand and actually his forehand side, SHI Yu Qi.
Or deep in court? Or
In the defense.
in the defense, yeah. He's missed it. Well, this is extraordinary. This is 6 straight
13,
points.
10.
Yeah.
7 straight points.
And that's well done by Gemke to stay at the net, because one of the characteristics with SHI Yu Qi is that he very often plays back from that low position. He plays back at the net. It seems to be very difficult, but for him it's more natural than others.
Well, this is
15, 10.
extraordinary.
由来自中国的何冰娇对阵来自韩国的R16。
何冰娇 from China versus SHI Yu Qi.
担任本场比赛裁判员的是
Yeah,
朱景文。
there's SHI Yu Qi of old would have played that around the head position, but was turned to play the backhand. Well, this is extraordinary. 9 straight points now
16,
for
10.
Gemke. And this man, SHI Yu Qi, looks a little disinterested to me. There he is again,
Yeah, he was
falling
almost
over.
falling. Saw it once in a match in Korea. That was back in the days with no running score, so you had to have the serve to score points. Peter Rasmussen, the former world champion from '97, he fell over waiting for a serve from an American, Matthew Fogarty. Rasmussen went on to win the match 15-0, 15-0. And Fogarty meant that he missed his chance. He should have launched the serve whilst Rasmussen was lying in the left-hand field.
Yeah, look at that turn
Yeah.
of backhand. Never have done that before. His injury. Yeah, and again.
Missed it.
18, 10.
I don't think I've ever seen a player of SHI Yu Qi's standard losing 11 straight points.
I have.
Have you?
Victor Axelsen, I think.
Oh yes, at the French Open.
1910.
1910, 11 straight points. You're right. That was the last tournament. My goodness, I had a senior moment. How could I forget that? Well, this surpasses that 11 straight points we saw in
20,
Paris.
Game point.
This is 13 straight points. And now game point opportunities.
Game.
14 straight
First
points.
game won by Rasmus
Well, the
GEMKE,
crowd here
21, 10.
Stunned into silence. I'm a little stunned myself, I have to say. 14 straight points. 19 minutes played.
Det kan godt være, han laver det der.
I'm not sure what... Oh, yes, he's calling the doctor. He's going to call it a day. He's had enough of this. coaches are walking away, so they're not giving him any advice. They're just walking off because they know he's going to retire.
Yeah, that's wise, I think.
Well, if a player says they're not fit to play, there's nothing the tournament referee can do. And quite frankly, losing 14 straight points from 7-10 down.
Is he asking for the doctor or?
No, the umpire is saying he's retiring.
Very much, Chief. Good luck.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Gemke, you need to shake hands with the court officials. We're still talking to his coach.
SHI Yu Qi retired. Game. Match won by Rasmus GEMKE. 21-10.
Well, that's a disappointment for SHI Yu Qi fans, because that really just fizzled out. 41-10 opening game from 7-10 down, 14 straight points, and Rasmus GEMKE into the quarter-final, where he will play either Unkar Long of Hong Kong or former champion Jan Jorgensen, also of Denmark. So 20 minutes into the match. Well, we were 1 minute into the timeout because it was only 19 minutes for the opening game. But I can assure you that is it, because Rasmus GEMKE through to the quarterfinal, 21-10, and then SHI Yu Qi retiring.